G4 was a television channel that primarily focused on video games. It launched in 2002, closed in 2014, then relaunched in 2021 before closing again about a year later in 2022. So, what was G4 and why did it fail twice? Hello, my name is Katakon, and this is Canned. This being the first video of Canned, I should probably explain what it is. Canned is just really anything that was cancelled or defunct, and today we'll be talking about G4. Before I do get into this video, if you want to, please subscribe to this channel. I sometimes work hard on these videos, and I like it if you did subscribe. But again, you don't have to. Also, if you notice anything's wrong in this video, then let me know in the comments or on Twitter. Anyways, let's get into this video. G4 was a television channel owned by Comcast, with the initial concept being created to be similar to rival channel Tech TV, which would later merge G4, targeted towards an audience of 12 to 34-year-olds. The channel launched in 3 million households on April 24th, 2002, with a week-long series of Pong matches being the first program aired. G4's main focus was on video games, with shows like X-Play, EP Daily, and Sign Match. They launched at a great time. It was a year after the original Xbox launched, the GameCube launched, and 2 years after the PS2 launched. And lots of games came out this year as well, some being on screen right now. In 2009, it was reported that G4 was intending to cut back on its original program. X-Play would be reduced from 5 nights a week to 3 nights a week, with Attack of the Show being reduced to 4 nights a week. As a result, staff and production crew involved with this show would be laid off, with host of the feed segment on Attack of the Show, Layla K. Lake, leaving G4 after CEO Neil Tiles announced that her contract would not be renewed. In 2010, DirecTV announced that they would be taking G4 off its channel lineup, citing that there was low interest among their subscriber base for the channel and that there were low Nielsen ratings for the channel. On January 5th, 2012, Neil Tiles stepped down as president of G4, being replaced with former NBC Universal marketing chief Adam Skotsky. And during the first half of 2012, host of X-Play's Adam Sessler and co-host of Attack of the Show Kevin Perea would depart from G4. Both shows will later be cancelled in October 2012, with the reason being stated as being a part of a channel makeover to become a more upscale and sophisticated channel for men. Both shows would officially come to an end on January 23rd, 2013. In December 2012, NBC Universal signed a brand licensing deal with the Hearst Corporation, owner of Esquire magazine, to relaunch G4 into the Esquire network. The rebranding was supposed to take place on April 22nd, 2013, but was pushed back to an unspecified date. On April 15th, 2013, network general manager Adam Skotsky stated, quote-unquote, the rebranding was pushed back in order to have a broader original series slate to launch with than would have been available for the April launch. It was later announced in May 2013 that the launch date would be pushed back to September 23rd, 2013. The first program was an 80th anniversary special for Esquire. In September 2013, just 14 days before the rebranding, NBC Universal would instead replace the Style Network with Esquire Network. On September 23rd, 2013, G4 was dropped by Time Warner Cable and Bright House Networks, citing the network's low viewership as not a good value for our customers. Verizon Fios discontinued the channel on October 1st, 2013, and so did Cablevision on October 10th, 2013. Late in October 2013, Charter Communications, which is one of the charter carriers of Tech TV, when it was a sister of G4 under Vulcan Ventures, announced its intentions to drop G4 on December 17th, being replaced by sister network Clue. On November 1st, 2013, Dish Network removed G4 from its lineup, replacing it with Esquire Network. Ending all carriage of the network from direct broadcast satellite services, and later Cox Communication would cease carriage of G4 in all markets on December 31st, 2013. And then finally, Comcast removed G4 from all its cable and satellite systems nationwide on January 6, 2014. But the network will continue to be carried on other cable systems. So with these removals, what would be the fate of this channel? Sometime in November 2014, certain cable providers reported that G4 would completely cease operations on November 30th, 2014, with providers continued airing network until either the alleged cutoff date or until their contracts with G4 got fully exhausted, with all carriage of the network from cable providers and cable television services officially ending December 31st, 2014. So I decided to compile both part 5 and 6 together for this one because both of them basically go into the same thing. One going into how the shutdown went, and the other one going into why the shutdown happened. So let's start off with how the shutdown went. The day started with some regular programming, old episodes of X-Play and Human Wrecking Balls. Then, from 6:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., they aired their second to last program, Top 100 Video Games of All Time, with the last program being the debut episode of X-Play from 2003, airing from 11:30 p.m. to 12 a.m. In the description of the episode, there was a note saying, "Thank you for watching G4." Following the episode being over, a game of Pong would be shown on screen, possibly referencing the first program ever aired on the network, with the game getting smaller and smaller until it's a white speck. Then you hear San Diego Comic-Con attendee Ramsey shouting to Kevin Pierre, "I'm at Comic-Con!" possibly alluding to G4 dying and going to Comic-Con, sometimes nicknamed Nerd Heaven. Followed by the Donkey Kong death sound from the Atari 2600, the small dot acting as if you were to turn off an analog TV, and the Game Boy chime, alluding to the network being game over / dead. And now we get to why did it shut down. The channel is believed to shut down because of low viewership for the channel, which is why other fires were in the past. So it makes no sense at all if the channel were to suddenly come back. Like, not at all. But that was until July 24th, 2020, when suddenly out of nowhere, accounts on Twitter for G4, Attack of the Show, and X-Plays were suddenly reactivated. And this was posted and shown during Comic-Con at home. That's right, the channel was set to relaunch in 2021. In October 2021, it was announced that G4 will return to cable on November 16th, 2021. Then before the launch of G4 in November 2021, it was announced that episodes of web series Scott the Woz would be airing on G4 in 1-hour blocks. Earlier in November 2021, during Scott's panel at Too Many Games 2021, he announced that he began a TV show, but didn't specify what channel due to an NDA. On November 16th, 2021, the channel would officially relaunch, with a marathon of the original Ninja Warrior being the first program aired. In March 2022, G4 launched a fast channel on Pluto TV called G4 Select, which carried most of G4's regular programming. So, if the channel relaunching is by the original shutdown reason, what could possibly go wrong? At the end of August 2022, Russell Aarons would step down as president of G4. I'm unsure who replaced her. On September 14th, 2022, layoffs at G4 would occur. A total of 20 to 30 employees were fired in total. For context, G4 had an alleged total employee count of 200 when this occurred. A week after that, X-Play host Indiana Black, who was one of the revived G4's prominent faces, would leave the network. Also in September 2022, Kevin Perea, who was one of the biggest names from not just the original, but also the rebooted version of Attack the Show, would also depart from the network. Then sometime in the week of October 3rd to 9th, crew working on The Arena, a show which was made in a deal with the WWE, would quit the show. On October 16th, 2022, Comcast Spector chairman and CEO Dave Scott made an announcement stating that the channel would be shutting down. Following the announcement, G4 Select would be removed from Pluto TV on October 19th, 2022, being removed during an episode of Attack the Show 5 Show. G4 Select would shut down on October 21st, 2022, ending 2 minutes into a Smosh episode. G4 would leave Philo, YouTube TV, Xfinity, and Cox on, I think, November 9th, 2022, with Verizon Vios, who was the last network to carry G4, leaving on the shutdown date of November 18th, 2022. Once again, the channel was acting like normal, running an X-Play marathon, other G4 programs airing during commercial breaks and or between episodes. Kind of like when the original G4 ended with the first episode of the original X-Play, the reboot ended with the first episode of the rebooted X-Play. Also in reference to the original shutdown, the network ended with a Pong game. Sorta. Instead, it showed a still Pong game drawn on former Attack of the Show host Gina Darling's forehead. The score reading G on the left and 4 on the right, making it G4. With text also written on her forehead reading, "Thanks for watching." After zooming out slowly for about 20 seconds, you hear a deadpan voice saying, "I'm in Comic-Con." Again referencing the end of the original G4, ending with G4 logo and the text, "Thank you for watching." This loop lasted for 6 hours before officially ending.
I'm at Comic-Con.
However, if you're watching this on a Verizon Vios, you wouldn't have seen that last part. You've only seen Gina Darling's forehead, the drawings, because after zooming out, it just cut to the "Your Vios is working" message, skipping the rest of the shutdown.
I'm at Comic-Con.
So why did the reboot shut down? As mentioned in the shutdown notes from Dave Scott, viewership for the channel was low and the channel wasn't achieving sustainable financial results. But there can be many other reasons, some listed on screen now. Now, I didn't grow up with the G4 channel, but after I heard its comeback and checked out the original channel's shutdown, I knew it was probably going to fail. Primarily because the channel allegedly failed due to lower viewership. So I'm surprised that the channel relaunched despite that. Of course, it would shut down over a year later, but hey, they tried. So do I think the channel has yet another chance to come back or try a third time? Probably not. There is no way they would try to come back a third time, considering the first 2 times failed. While the original lasted 12 years, 8 months, and 7 days, the reboot only lasted a year and 2 days. But anyways, that's the end of this video. If you want to, please subscribe. You don't have to, but I appreciate it. Until I upload again, later.